before we start, we'd like to wait for a couple of minutes because it's an online event, online press conference, to make sure our guests are here. But before we start, while we are waiting, I can talk a little bit about Museum with No Frontiers online exhibition. And today we will have the press conference in the Museum of the Civilisations in Rome. But as I said, this is online. And Adriano Napoli, an art historian from the museum, will be with us. And Michael Faber from Bonn will be with us. And here we have Eva Schubert, myself, Mehmet Kahyoğlu, and Nal Chami giving you some presentations. And we have Dina from Amman. So thanks to the communication technologies, we are building bridges, and somehow we are bringing people together for this very interesting press conference. I hope you'll enjoy it. And we will have two parts. At the beginning, in the first part, we will have the presentations, and then which will take about 40 to 45 minutes. And we have a question and answer section right after these presentations. So for this, we start with, as I told you, that we are in the Museum of Civilisations in Rome. And now we have with us Mr. Adriano Napoli, an art historian, studied in Catania and with a PhD in Pisa on Islamic art, on Siculo-Norman art. And on behalf of the Museum Directorate, he will be welcoming us, I hope. So I told you, it's my mistake. I told him that wait for a couple of minutes before we start really. Okay, while we are waiting for him, I can introduce you the other participants of this press conference. So after welcoming of Mr. Adriano Napoli, Michael Faber, the president of Avicom, will be with us from Bonn. And Adriano is right here. So there's always some technical issues, so it's quite normal. So on behalf of the museum, I thank you for hosting us for this presentation in your museum. Very interesting museum. It's one of the must if you ever come to Rome. And as I told you already, Adriano Napoli is a curator, art historian, actually, from Catania, and PhD in Pisa on Siculo-Norman art. And he started recently to work as a curator in the Islamic art collection of the museum. So I give you the post.
Thank you, Mehmet. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish a very warm welcome to you all. Firstly, let me thank you for the priceless time you are about to spend with us. As curator of the Islamic art collection at the Museum of Civilisations in Rome, I am honored to host this prestigious press conference here. The museum director, Andrea Vigliani, would have liked to join us today, but is kept away by important institutional commitments. He deeply apologizes, and he asked me to bring you warm greetings from him. Many thanks to Eva Schubert, CEO of the Museum with No Frontiers, who invited me to introduce the conference, and many thanks to her team and to the highly skilled curators of the exhibition. The Museum of Civilisations, formerly National Museum of Oriental Art, has been a partner of the Museum with No Frontiers since 2006, when the first cooperation agreement was signed in Amman. Therefore, I am particularly pleased to take part in the live launch of the exhibition The Table is Set, Food, Traditions and Legacies in the Islamic World, and to help build bridges between cultures. Thank you again and enjoy the exhibition.
I thank you for these nice words, Signor Adriano, Napoli. And now I pass the word to Mr. Michael Faber. He is from Bonn, actually. He is a doctor of cultural anthropology, and he was the director, retired, State Museum Director, Rhenish Open Air Museum, State Museum of Folklore. And now he is the chair of AVICOM, International Committee for Audiovisual, New Technologies and Social Media of the International Council of Museum, ICOM. This is quite important because they're dealing with this, new technologies, technologies that we encounter on every day, on our daily life. So, Herr Faber, welcome, and I give you the word.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mehmet. Dear Eva Schubert, dear colleagues and participants of this important press conference. With the now online exhibition, The Table is Set, a remarkable cooperative project has been successfully completed, one in which not only colleagues and institutions from countries of the Near and Middle East have actively participated. If I have counted correctly, colleagues and institutions from 33 countries and 5 continents are involved in this exhibition, from the United States to Puerto Rico, from the Philippines to India, from Serbia to Ireland, and also from South Africa. They have conducted research, provided objects, written contributions, or contributed in other ways to the success of this project. The fact that the United Nations Alliance of Civilisations, the UNAOC, has taken patronage over this exhibition underscores its significance. After all, UNAOC was founded in 2005, and I quote, to galvanize international action against extremism through intercultural and interreligious dialogue and cooperation. And that is precisely what this exhibition achieves. In a world increasingly shaped by autocracy and politically driven loss of mutual respect for social and cultural values, it is more than ever the responsibility of cultural institutions and stakeholders to protect and preserve cultural heritage through appropriate, high-impact measures and to promote human interaction without boundaries through intercultural dialogue. As a cultural scholar, cultural practitioner, and former deputy director of a major German cultural historic museum, I'm filled with joy and gratitude that this exhibition exists. As chair of AVICOM, I extend my warmest congratulations to you, dear Eva Schubert, and to all involved on behalf of the AVICOM board for this wonderful achievement. AVICOM, the International Committee for Audiovisual, Digital and Social Media of the International Council of Museums, has gladly supported this exhibition project, not only because of its contribution to international understanding and its dialogue between the Islamic and non-Islamic worlds. AVICOM has been engaged for several years with the significance of virtual exhibitions and virtual museums. Just last year, AVICOM supported a publication by renowned scientists and students of the Heinrich Heine University in Düsseldorf in Germany, titled Virtual Museums, a Plea. This publication, released in both English and German, is not only available in print, but can also be downloaded worldwide for free. It is likely the first handbook globally that defines the term virtual museum in alignment with the ICOM museum definition adopted in Prague in 2022, while also providing arguments and guidelines for establishing such museums. The message of this handbook is clear: establish virtual museums, and from this follows establish virtual exhibitions. Establish them wherever analog museums are lacking, and establish them also to complement existing analog museums. Establish them where topics and objects are less suitable for analog museum presentation and where the added value of available anytime, anywhere is desired. There are many more arguments in favor of virtual museums and exhibitions. Setting up and running costs are significantly lower than for their analog counterparts, and the development of an online museum presence requires fewer resources and leaves a smaller carbon footprint than constructing an analog museum or exhibition. There are also conceptual reasons that clearly favor virtual presentations. In a joint exhibition like the table set, fixed location buildings and large objects could never be relocated to another site for an analog exhibition. Moreover, there are themes that are very difficult to present in an analog format. Phenomena such as time, lost cultural assets, lost landscapes, persecuted or destroyed minorities, intangible cultural heritage such as customs and rituals, gender roles, power, freedom, dictatorship. In all cases where artifacts serve only as a tool to approach a phenomenon, the phenomenon itself can often be represented more effectively in a virtual world than in an analog one. Finally, there are user-centered and societal arguments in favor of virtual presentation. The ability to visit an exhibition anytime and anywhere without significant time investment or costs, barrier reduction, the possibility for in-depth exploration of exhibits, and an enhanced experience through the use of augmented or virtual reality technologies. What is particularly evident in our exhibition, The Table is Set, is its social component. The opportunity for cross-border gatherings with friends, acquaintances, and colleagues to experience the exhibition together. Using social XR, meetings can be organized and shaped, generating enjoyment and fostering social and intercultural interaction. Dear participants of this press conference, dear colleagues, museums have no borders, they have a network. This guiding principle of the International Council of Museums perfectly matches the name of the institution that has brought this exhibition to life, Museum Without Frontiers. It is somewhat reminiscent of Médecins Sans Frontières, who do good worldwide without regard to gender, ethnicity, religion, culture, social status, or personal beliefs. Avicom, as well as ICOM, wish for broad resonance for this exhibition, extensive global media coverage, and a great number of visitors at the table. The table is set. It is a virtual table, ensuring that all who are hungry for discovering fine food and drinks, for meeting other people and their cultures, for engaging in good conversations and forming new friendships will find a place. Thank you so much for your attention.
So, Mehmet, you have to unmute.
Is it okay now?
Fine, we can hear you.
That's fine. Okay. Okay. So I was just thanking Dr. Faber for this very interesting and inspiring presentation. Their presence is quite important because world is going to a new direction in which we have this, information technologies and digital world. As he has already mentioned, there's this slogan on their webpage saying museums have no borders. They have a network. This is quite important, and which also perfectly fits with Museum with No Frontiers in that sense. So I thank you again, Mr. Faber, and we may talk. Also, I ask you to wait for the questions in the second term, but then now I pass the platform to Ms. Eva Schubert, Chair and CEO of Museum with No Frontiers, a long time friend, colleague, boss, whatever you call it, and we've been know each other and working together for 30 years now, almost 30 years. But I can say that if there is a concept, an institution called Museum with No Frontiers exists, it is thanks to her effort, her endless efforts. And now we are on a new stage. The Table is Set exhibition also represents a new dimension within Museum with No Frontiers concept of sharing culture and art with the global audience. So I pass the word to Ms. Eva Schubert to talk about Museum with No Frontiers and whatever.
Thank you very much, Mehmet. First of all, I would like to welcome you all. Normally, I'm used to sit in front of our audience. Here, I know that you are spread across the different countries. The email exchange during the last weeks and the last days, in particular yesterday and the day before, made me aware of the great number of partners, of journalists, of colleagues, and of friends who are following us, and we are really very proud. I have to say that it's a strange feeling to speak to an audience that you don't see, but I can assure you that I really feel your presence. And I am very, very grateful that you are with us and that you are sharing this important event with us, which is the Museum with No Frontiers contribution to celebrate the end of Ramadan 2025. I would like to start by thanking our co-founding museum, the Museum of Civilisations, where our colleagues here, except Dina, who is in Amman, and Dina Turkiye, and Michael Faber, who is in Bonn, but all the others are hosted here at the Museum of Civilisations in Rome. And I would like to say that I could not imagine a better place than this one to start this important press conference, because I was not aware, but when we arrived, Mehmet, Nail, and me today here at the museum, we found a museum which opens at 8 o'clock in the morning and closes at 7 o'clock in the evening. We found it crowded by school classes of students from 6 to 18, very different cultural backgrounds, old colors, old civilizations. And I really think that if these people are going to have power in the future, and this is what is going to happen, our world will be different. And I'm sure that those who come to these museums, they will build a better future for all of us. So I'm glad that this museum exists, and I really encourage the museum to promote this very, very particular aspect. What we present today is an online exhibition. And initially it was planned that we organize different press conferences in different countries. But finally we decided that it's the right moment to switch also to a new form of presentation, which means to go from the physical space to the virtual space also for the presentation. So this is for Museum with No Frontiers, the very first time that we organize an international press conference, which is in fact a very challenging, technically challenging event. And in this case, I'm happy, and please allow me that I would like to thank also Roman Seidel and his company Seidel & Seidel. They are based in a small village in Austria, and they are doing the technical hosting and the technical moderation of this event. Today, this year we celebrate 30 years of history of Museum with No Frontiers. The organization was in fact founded at the very, very end of 1994. So it's 30 years of history of Museum with No Frontiers. And at the same time, because it was founded to set up an international project across the Mediterranean, so it is also 30 years of partnership and cooperation with museums and cultural heritage institutions all around the Mediterranean country. I mentioned the Mediterranean because the Museum with No Frontiers activities, in particular at the beginning, were very, very closely related to the political activities of the European Union in that time that were launched by the so-called Barcelona process. And between 1997 and 2007, Museum with No Frontiers could count on very significant funding from the European Union to set up what is the basis of what we present today. And we will always be grateful, and we consider the European Union to be part of our process, and we consider ourselves to be part of the today very difficult process of building a common Europe. Since the beginning, we decided, for different reasons that I cannot explain here, we decided to focus on Islamic art. We are speaking about 1994, 1995. At that time, everybody was surprised about this decision. Only a few museums existed that were specifically dedicated to Islamic art. They were, I could say, really all obsolete. And in most cases, the Islamic art collections were part of the so-called minor art collections of the other museums. Obviously, this has changed drastically. At the same time, the cultural heritage authorities in the different countries, when we told them that we would like to speak about Islamic monuments, Islamic sites, they were very surprised because they were used to invest all their efforts and all their attention in the discovery, in the excavation and interpretation of what is the cultural heritage of Western civilizations, which are the tourists who visit those countries. So Museum with No Frontiers did really a pioneering activity, and we know that we are at the beginning of a long process of investing and of paying attention to Islamic heritage. Thanks to this strong beginning of Museum with No Frontiers, we were able to set up a huge database. A database that on the one side includes the artifacts that were contributed by the different museums to our projects, and on the other hand, only for Islamic art, because we have also some other projects, we documented more than 1,500 Islamic monuments around the Mediterranean, which are in our database, and this creates obviously a unique resource. But on the other hand, we have to look, and this is also the reason why let's say, all the funding situation of Museum with No Frontiers has changed drastically. In these 30 years of Museum with No Frontiers history, also the political context has changed radically. And in the beginning of our work, we could really count as the fertile ground of what we were doing on huge enthusiasm, on hope, and on mutual trust and mutual confidence. Obviously, the situation has now changed because of what happened over the last years, last 20 years, I could say, very drastically. And today we are facing mistrust, fear, and incomprehension. This is why I was saying at the beginning that being in a place as the Museum of Civilisations in Rome is very significant and very important for us. Because today, more than ever, we believe in the importance of cross-cultural international cooperation and in the elaboration of curatorial contents that take into consideration the different perspectives and the different possibilities of interpretation of history, art, and cultural heritage. Here, I think when I would like to make a short bracket. When we started, there was definitively no country, and we started with many European countries and many Arab countries and Turkey, and nobody was asking to make an accent on national history. Everybody was keen to mix cultures, to become a unique body, everybody all together. Now it's exactly the opposite. Whenever we speak with partners and with institutional entities, they always ask, but what is your focus on my country? How can you present how many visitors go to my museum, to my country? So this is exactly the opposite of what Museum with No Frontiers stands for. We stand for being all together. We want to mix cultures, we want to mix interpretations, and we want to allow our visitors and our public to understand that history has different perspectives, and it is important to understand that my perspective is one point of view, but there are many different other points of view. And there is nothing more appropriated, obviously, than exhibitions to give visibility to this idea. Now, we have physical exhibitions, but physical exhibitions also, they are the only way to really feel the charisma and the beauty of certain artifacts. They, at the same time, impose a series of limitations because of costs, because of moving artifacts, and so on. On the other hand, we have now the online exhibitions. This was our choice, that we are going to develop online exhibitions, and I would say the biggest advantage of online exhibitions, apart from the fact that they do not have those costs and that we don't need to move the artifacts, but everybody is equal. There is no museum that has different conditions and different possibilities to participate and to interpret the artifacts. Now, the problem was we have done already virtual exhibitions in the past, but these exhibitions always required a huge web team and were expensive because of the back office work. Now, because of this, our back office team decided to set up a new platform where Museum with No Frontiers is basically in the position to create new exhibitions according to our ideas, and we are totally independent for this. And here, obviously, we have also to add that the new platform, in combination with the unique Museum with No Frontiers database, in particular, with regard to our main focus, which is the history, art, and artistic legacy of the Islamic world, provide a unique basis. So what we present today and what my colleagues are going to present after me is the result of a unique teamwork. And here I would like to thank the curators who have dedicated more than 1 year in the elaboration of this exhibition, in the work of our curatorial assistants, of our content manager, in the magnificent work of our back office team. They never show up, but they exist. And here I would like to give a very particular thank you to Pascal Avelange, who is the one who designed our database in 2004 and who still today, as a volunteer, is making sure that Museum with No Frontiers is online every day and can do what we are doing. And many other persons joined. I'm not able to mention all of them. This would not be correct because there are so many, but if you go to the credits page of our exhibition, you can find all of them who contribute to our work. And I hope that the Museum with No Frontiers exhibition will contribute to the development of this new exhibition format and of this new possibility to promote international cooperation. And in that sense, I would like to thank Avicom for its support from the very, very first day, because also the information that we are going to plan this exhibition was announced on the Avicom website. Until now, participation in our online press conference and the strong support in promoting the event. To my thanks to Avicom and to its chairperson, Michael Faber, for his support and cooperation. But I didn't say it at the beginning, I'd say it now at the end. There are two more points that I would like to mention. Is the whole process could start, in fact, and this exhibition is the result of a meeting that we had in 2023 in Doha, which was hosted by FPQ Museum in Doha, who is one of our partner museums. And that meeting was attended also by Linda Komarov, the Islamic art curator from the LACMA Museum, who encouraged us to develop an online exhibition dedicated to that topic. And we are happy that we got this input from Linda and her exhibition, because the LACMA last year has organized an exhibition, Dining with the Sultan, the Fine Art of Feasting, is available as a video exhibition on our website together with our exhibition, The Table is Set. Thank you all.
I thank you, Eva. Thank you for the project. I thank you for Museum with No Frontiers, and I thank you for this 30 years. That's to me the story, or the my adventure with Museum with No Frontiers also or clearly represents the change in the society. It was once very physical. We were inviting people to visit exhibition trails we said in different countries on Islamic art around the Mediterranean. But then this huge database, as Eva mentioned, turned out to be a huge textual and visual database, which can be transferred into the digital world, a virtual exhibition. But in that time, we were using website only as an entry gateway to our activities. But then this website turned into a really a virtual exhibition, and together with some other museums. And today, many museums use more or less the same approach, turning their collections into digital world in order to be approachable by the worldwide audience, because these information technologies are, every day they are getting better, faster, because we were discussing that not everywhere we have this technology. So we were discussing with Eva, to approach or to connect this collection with the lowest level of possibilities around the world. But today, everything, the technology is getting higher and better, and more people are reaching to this technology. So as said also, this is a slogan of Museum with No Frontiers, it is much easier to build bridges through knowledge and understanding through these exhibitions. And I was one of the curators, but I'm not talking on the exhibition now, since I'm the moderating this press conference. But it is time to talk about the exhibition itself. The table is set: Food, Traditions and Legacies in the Islamic World, the new exhibition, virtual exhibition of Museum with No Frontiers. So for this one, I pass the word to Dina Türkiye from Amman. She was one of the curators of the Theme 5, Gendered Roles. She is an art curator. She is an archaeologist and Islamic and modern Arab art curator, researcher, museum training specialist, education and inclusivity professional. She works in Lour, Abu Dhabi, in the Department of External Outreach and Cultural Engagement in the United Arab Emirates. And now I pass the word to lovely Dina. Our exhibition is online, but in order to make life easier, both Dina and Nile will be using PowerPoint presentations to track in time as well. So the stage is yours, Dina.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. I'm going to present for you the curatorial perspective. Just a second. Perfect. So, welcome to the table set, Food Traditions and Legacies in the Islamic World. The newest online exhibition with the Museum with No Frontiers. As the curator presenting this exhibition and its curatorial organization, I will take you through the vision, structure, and thematic approach that shaped this project. What if I told you that a simple meal can shape identity, define social structures, and even influence global history? Food is more than a nourishment. It is a force that unites and divides, shapes civilizations. What makes this exhibition unique? This exhibition offers an insightful exploration of food's central role in Islamic culture, providing an understanding of how culinary traditions shape identity, resilience, and cultural exchange. What sets this exhibition apart? Its international and interdisciplinary curatorial approach. Our team brings together experts from diverse cultural, professional, and academical backgrounds, ensuring a rich and inclusive perspective. With contribution from museum partners worldwide, this exhibition reflects Museum with No Frontiers' commitment to cultural diversity and cross-cultural dialogue. The digital format plays a crucial role in achieving these goals. Online exhibitions offer unparalleled accessibility, allowing audience to engage regardless of location or financial means. They remove the challenges of transporting, insuring, and conserving fragile objects, while providing a dynamic and immersive experience. Visitors can enlarge images for detailed study, explore interactive content, and engage with architectural monuments that cannot be physically transported. By eliminating logistical barriers, this exhibition fosters unprecedented collaboration, bringing together 404 artifacts from 73 cultural institutions across 33 countries, something nearly impossible in physical setting. The global effort reflects the richness and diversity of food traditions in the Islamic world, offering audience a truly borderless experience. So I will take you now in a journey through food and culture and along the exhibition structured 6 key themes, each exploring food's role in shaping the Islamic world. I start with theme number 1, life at the court. Feasting as a symbol of power. Imagine a royal banquet where every dish tells a story of power and prestige. At Islamic courts, food was more than a sustenance, it was a display of status, refinement, and diplomacy. From elaborate meals to strict etiquettes, rulers use feasts as political and cultural statements, shaping culinary arts that extend far beyond palace walls. The curators in charge of this theme organizes around three main thematics: etiquette, the protocol of sitting at the table with the sultan; second, feasts; and the third one is palatial plates, dishes and diets of Islamic courts. Theme number 2, social life, the universal language of food. From bustling market space to intimate family gatherings, food is a universal language of connection. Meals bring people together, reinforcing shared beliefs, social hierarchies, and cultural values. Beyond family gatherings, food also plays a crucial role in community and charity. The Quran emphasized the importance of feeding those in need, turning meals into an expression of compassion and solidarity. Whether in grand city feast or intimate gatherings, food serves as a universal language of connection, strengthening relationships and fostering social harmony. The curators organize this theme in 4 main themes: food symbols in Islamic culture, food sharing as an intimate ritual, and the third, food as a bond of communal identity, and final one, food nomadism from desert traditions to the urban table. Theme number 3, religion, a sacred connection through food. Food is deeply tied to faith, from fasting to feasting, creating a spiritual connection between people and their beliefs. Religious traditions have shaped food practices, from dietary laws to sacred festivals like Ramadan and Eid. Beyond nourishment, food embodies values of humility, hospitality, and discipline, fostering a deeper connection between the individual and the divine. Theme number 4, environment. The food in our plates is shaped by centuries of innovation in agriculture and sustainability. Islamic civilization developed sustainable agricultural practices to balance human needs with environmental stewardship. From advanced irrigation system to soil conservation, these innovations ensure the survival of culinary traditions and food security. Trade and cultural exchanges also introduce new ingredients, new cooking techniques, and dining customs. The curator organized it in four sub-themes: the balance between food and nature, the preservation methods and innovation, the third is seasonal cuisine, and the fourth one is the diversity of the tableware. Theme number 5, gender roles. It's actually the theme that I worked on with Nandi Iman Furlani, the assistant curator. From the palace kitchen to the home, food preparation has always been a shared responsibility. Men and women both played essential role in food production, preparation, and presentation, shaping the culinary and social legacy of the Islamic world. The theme highlights the contributions of individuals across history, social strata, economical strata, reflecting a dynamic balance of responsibilities in sustaining food traditions. This sub-theme is, the sub-themes are 5. First, gender roles in agriculture, animal husbandry, and the food industry. The second is around gender roles in food production and preparation. A third, men and women preparing the table. The fourth one is related to duties of and roles of court officers serving rulers and nobility. And the last one is professional roles in food preparation for table service. Theme the sex, the coexistence, which is also the last one. It is talking about fusion of flavors, fusions of cultures. Trade routes, conquests, and migrations brought flavors together, creating a rich culinary fusion that unites cultures. Despite religious and social differences, shared meals fostered connections, creating thriving food industry and rich material culture. Fusion cuisines emerge as a testament to the unity within the diversity, providing that food can transcend borders and bring people together. The sub-themes are three: interfaith hospitality. The second one is related to food-related craftsmanship and industry from the Islamic world. And the last one is culinary syncretism. This exhibition is actually is more than just a showcase of culinary heritage. It is a narrative about how food shapes society, bridges cultures, and fosters understanding. Before I conclude, I want to take a moment to reflect on deeper meaning of food and togetherness, especially during this holy month of Ramadan. While millions of Muslims around the world fast by choice, many others fast by force. Not out of devotion, but due to food sanctions, siege, poverty, and war. As we sit with our families to share a meal, whether breaking a fast or simply gathering at the dinner table, let us pause to recognize our privilege. The privilege of having food, clean water, and loved ones by our side. May this awareness inspire us to extend generosity, empathy, and support to those who are hungry and have nothing to eat, thirsty and have no water to drink, and those who are lonely and have no family or friends. Thank you very much. And I look forward for your questions at the end of the press conference.
Okay, I thank you for this lovely presentation, and okay, I'm sure there will be some questions to you as well. So you drew a very nice picture of the exhibition itself. Being a curator of the theme 4, it was quite challenging actually. I mean, it was very nice to know the story behind, and also to somehow to connect the items and the story together to tell a narrative, as Dina said. So after hearing the general overall information about the exhibition, we have now Chami next to me in the conference hall to talk about. He is one of the curators, so he'll be talking about social life, his theme. Well, actually, he is an architect and researcher specializing in the history of Islamic Bilad al-Sham, the Levant. He holds a PhD in the history of architecture and has recently completed a postdoctoral fellowship focusing on medieval urban planning, exploring connections and exchanges between Europe and the Islamic Bilad al-Sham. And currently, he is a lecturer at La Sapienza University of Rome. And well, again, he'll be using PowerPoint, and also he'll be using online exhibition during his presentation. And Wakil, the word is yours, Nail.
Thank you, Mahmoud. Thank you, everyone. I will start sharing my screen. Okay. Okay, I guess it's visible. So before I start, I really want to thank really everyone, starting with Eva Schubert and Museum with No Frontiers. I guess this exhibition has been really an amazing experience. I would like to thank also all my colleagues, the curators, the assistants also. Their work have all been really phenomenal. Thank you to Avicom also for their presence even here. And thank you for Roman, you know, the technical side that he's behind the scene. And obviously, thank you for everyone in Museum with No Frontiers. In the background, there is an army working, making everything possible. So after Dina, she presented the whole exhibition. I will go deep inside, you know, in the theme 2, the social life, which is the theme that I created myself. I'll start showing in the presentation. So as Dina already mentioned, you know, historically food has been more than just a simple nourishment. It holds a really deep significance in religious practices, you know, since we are speaking about the Islamic world, but also through these religious practices, you know, it connects also, it creates communal bonds, you know, between different social aspects of life. So the second sub-theme is actually divided into 4 sub-themes, as already also Dina explained. So the first one is food symbolism. The second one is food sharing as an intimate ritual. Then food as a bond of communal identity. And finally, the last sub-theme is food nomadism, from the desert tradition to the urban table. So I will start, actually it will be a presentation, but also I will take you on a tiny tour, you know, on the website to interact, to see how the virtual exhibition is actually happening on the website itself. So for the first sub-theme, again, food symbolism, you know, some types of food don't only hold they're not only used, you know, as a nourishment, as I already said, but they hold a really deep significance. For example, coffee, it has, that we chose, it's one of the first artifact that I'm going to show here, or the first type of food that has a deep symbolism in the Islamic culture. You know, coffee has a really central role in social and cultural aspects. It's a gesture of goodwill and a bridge between families and friends, and people really use it, you know, as a sign of hospitality and even generosity. So here we see this coffee group from the museum, from the Sharjah Heritage Museum, that really reflect this aspect of food as a symbol of hospitality. Another really important type of food that I chose that has a deep significance also in the Islamic culture are dates. You know, dates are a symbol of amity and welcome. They symbolize sustenance, generosity, and even the connection to the land, reinforcing these bonds of a community. I will be a little bit fast to give you some time at the end. I'm sure you're going to have some questions, so it will be really a fast visit, let's say, to this sub-theme, to this theme. So the second sub-theme is food sharing as an intimate ritual. You know, food is also obviously, while it's shared in more communal settings, it's also shared in intimate settings. Here, for example, we have the main item that was chosen is this hexagonal dinner stand from the Museum of Islamic Art in Cairo. The related artifacts that are connected to it, and you will see them on the website, are the cooking pot, the bukhara ur, and this large tray. Actually, here we see chronologically how the act of sharing food in an intimate or in a private setting happens, from the cooking pot, the cooking process, the bukhara ur that represents, you know, when the guests clean their hands, then the food is served on a tray, and then finally it's put on this beautiful hexagonal dinner stand that's elevated from the floor. Another also thing that was another element that was chosen also for the second sub-theme is this beautiful collection of Mughal miniatures from the Austrian National Library in Vienna. It represents, it captures the communal act of serving and sharing food in a more private setting. In this scene, we see the gathering of Yusuf and Zulaikha and their friends in an intimate setting where food always work as a bond to gather people around the meal. For now, I guess I will jump to the museum itself to show you, you know, how to interact. So now we jump here to this third sub-theme where we see this on the website. If you want, we can enlarge the picture. We see this beautiful fountain. Actually, I will go out so you see. So it's this beautiful fountain here from the National Museum of Damascus in Syria. You know, the Prophet said that the best form of charity is actually to give someone water. So here we're speaking about food not only as a bond of small families or in private gatherings, gatherings, but also food as a creation or as a bond of communal identity. Food in this, or water in this sense, is shared with people that can be, you know, you don't know them. It's just water that can be given to anyone that's in need. Obviously, water has a deep, deep significance in Islam. Also, we have another that I will show you here, another related items. We see also another sabil, also to showcase the way, the importance of water in creating this communal bond in the Islamic society. Something important also, we go back to here, some inscriptions even, for example, again, on this fountain, some inscription even explain to us that this fountain is dedicated to someone. He can be the builder, his mother, or a person of his family, to show this importance of charity, you know, and the person giving to the people in need in the Islamic world. So we were gonna jump also, you know, in this exhibition, we try to show many different disciplines. We try to use different disciplines, from paintings, artifacts, and even architectural monuments, like this Imarat, or there are two actually. I will show you Imara al-Amira in Jerusalem in Palestine. This functions as a type of a soup kitchen, excuse me. It's a part of it, obviously. It shows the importance of charity or sadaqah in Islam, you know, to give people, to give the poor people or the people in need the food that creates this bond between the society or the Islamic society. I will jump to the last sub-theme, which is food nomadism from the desert tradition to the urban table. Here we try to show that with different traditions, you know, different urban settings or rural settings, food always worked and really created this bond between the society. Whether is it, for example, in the rural area or in the traditional settings, like this beautiful picture here of a spontaneous feast for a sheikh at Tel Tishreen in northeast Syria. It represents this traditional communal setting where food is shared between people. Also, we see during these feasts how bread is prepared or how food is prepared as a part of this traditional setting where food has a really deep, creates a really deep interconnection. On the other side, if we go to the more modernized or the more urban settings, also food never fails, you know, to show its powerful connection, you know, in this coffee house or the coffee shop of Cairo, for example, this beautiful representation from the Sharjah Art Museum. It represents that even across geography, you know, across different urban or rural settings, from traditional settings to more modern settings, food has always played this role of connecting people together and creating these social bonds. I will finish with the last two artifacts that I will show you. This is the drum. This is a drum used by the Musaharati. The Musaharati is basically the person who wakes people up at dawn, you know, for their suhoor, which is the first meal of the day before they start fasting. This artifact is really important because it reflects an evolution or a tradition that wouldn't have been able, for example, to be in a rural setting. You know, the Musaharati, he needs this urban setting to be able to walk in the streets of the city to wake people up. And then finally, I chose these big plates that reflect really this change from the traditional setting where people sit together, they even share food from the same plate, to the more recent individualized, you know, settings where people eat in their own food, so in their own plates. So this really shows this transition, you know, from a traditional setting to the more, let's say, modern, urbanized, individual setting where food is always there, even though it's in different aspects, we can say, but food has always played a great role in connecting people through geography, through history, through even different generations. I will stop here, and I really advise you to, you know, check the website. I hope this tiny presentation encouraged you to go to see the website, to see the other themes, to see this beautiful virtual exhibition, and we hope you're gonna like it. Thank you.
Wow, you talk fast.
Yeah, I know.
But clear. No, no, very well. I mean, just you made a very clear presentation of a theme. But as you said, it's like, there are too many informations, too many images to digest. So we all advise you to go on the website of Museum with No Frontiers and enjoy, starting with this table set, you can enjoy also other exhibitions as well. So I thank you all for the very interesting presentations, and I close the first part of our press conference.